Welcome to our most recent HAEA Youth Webinar. This is a new series of webinars that we started this year to provide some insider information to our young community and hopefully a little inspiration and guidance along the way. So today's webinar is about fundraising and advocacy. And we really want to let you guys know how easy it is to get involved. You can do the next slide. Before I go any further, I really encourage you guys to ask questions throughout the webinar. At the bottom of your screen, you'll see a Q&A button. You can use this Q&A button to ask questions along the way if you have any questions. We'll probably wait till the very end to answer questions. So if I don't get to them right away, I will at the end. We have two very special guest speakers who are joining us today, and they will talk to you a little bit about their events towards the end of our webinar. And I really encourage you guys to ask them questions because they are going to be a wonderful resource for you and hopefully some inspiration for those of you who are looking to plan your own event or get inspiration for something new. All right, so we have a very special announcement. And if you haven't already heard, HAE Youth Advocacy Month is coming. We have decided that the young HAE patient community needs a month all for themselves. So we are designating October 2018 as the first HAE Youth Advocacy Month. This is your opportunity to shine. We want to show the rest of our community, and we want to show the world what you guys are doing to make a difference in your community. How are you raising awareness? What are you doing to really kind of show the world that you have a voice, that you are strong, and that you can make a difference. So we're very excited to make this announcement. You'll hear more about it in the coming months. But this webinar is really intended to possibly give you some inspiration. And we're not just encouraging you to do events only in October. If you do events throughout the year, we want to hear about them. What have you done all year long? And we really want to show the rest of our community what you guys have been doing in your communities. So the idea here is that create an event, share it with us so that we can show the world that our HAE youth community is loud, proud, and stronger than ever. Next slide. So the way that we've broken it down here is into three categories of raising awareness. The first category is going to be advocacy. Then the next category is going to be awareness and fundraising. So I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about advocacy and the way that we're kind of framing it for this purpose. So advocacy really means being able to communicate about the importance of something and really communicate it to people who are in a position to change it. So there's a couple different ways to get involved in advocacy. You can speak with your members of representatives. You can speak with a school board member. You can speak with someone at your school who's in a power to educate others. We also want to encourage you guys to sign up for the HAEA Legislative Outreach Program. And you can do that by contacting John Williamson, and his email address is here on the screen. Basically, the Legislative Outreach Program provides you an opportunity to connect with your state legislator or representative when there's a need. When big decisions are being made, we need our community to come out and tell our representatives how they can best meet our needs. And we facilitate this by providing you with knowledge of when these events are taking place. We provide you with kind of like a brief outline of talking points if you were to email them. We encourage you to make appointments and meet with them in person when they're in your town or communities, and let them know how they can best meet the needs of our rare disease community. We also have this wonderful, wonderful event that we put on every year. It is the annual HAEA Capitol Hill Day. This year was the first year that we had an incredible youth program. And next year we'll be doing something very similar. We hope to grow our youth attendance by quite a bit. So we really hope that if you weren't part of that experience, that you let us know that you're interested in it, and you can email me, or you can email John Williamson at the email address on the screen, and we will get you on the list so that you are made aware of next year's event. Next slide. So what is awareness? Awareness is a pretty broad topic. You can raise awareness in a number of different ways. But awareness is really important because it helps develop a community support. Why is that important? The more people who know about HAE, the better. That's how we see it. You know, we want HAE to become not something that is hidden. We want it to be something that you can be proud of, that you can talk about openly, and that people in your community can come around and support you with. Just because HAE is rare doesn't mean that people shouldn't know what it is. So there's a lot of ways to raise awareness. Next slide. So I provided some ideas here, and this isn't limiting you because there are a million ways to raise awareness. But I wanted to kind of create a foundation with some ideas. And raising awareness and getting involved in fundraising and advocacy and awareness can be as simple or as in-depth as you would like it. So really, if you don't have a lot of time and you're extremely busy, maybe with school or extracurricular events, and you don't have time to host your own big event, that's great. That's, you know, but there are still ways that you can raise awareness. And something is very simple that you could do is to order an ER toolkit. We have created these amazing ER toolkits that's basically an informative packet for medical professionals. And basically gives an outline of what HAE is, it provides some resources, some information to some websites, and you can deliver this to your local hospital, emergency room, urgent care, your school nurse maybe. This is in fact a really great resource to provide your school nurse. If you are going to a new school this year and you're gonna have to make that talk with your school nurse about HAE, you know it's coming, they don't always understand, bring an ER toolkit with you and give it to them. So after you leave their office, they can read a little bit more and they can look up some of the resources that we provide in there and learn a little bit more on their own time. We really encourage you guys to do this. Another thing you can do is take the ER toolkit to local emergency rooms. Emergency professionals often deal with potentially undiagnosed and diagnosed patients. So educating them about HAE is a vital part of helping to raise awareness in the medical community. We really, really want to educate emergency room staff. Also, if you have a doctor, maybe a new doctor, and your doctor isn't familiar with HAE, bring them the ER toolkit. It's a really great resource. I remember when I brought my ER toolkit to my doctor, she was ecstatic and very, very excited to receive some formal information. So that's a simple way to get involved. There's a link here that provides a link to the ER toolkit, but you can also look it up online, and I will send out an email to those of you who I can see who are in here and provide you guys with an outline of some of these resources as well. Another way that you can raise awareness about HAE is to share information about HAE with your friends, family, or community members. We try to make it very easy for you to do this. The HAEA is very excited to support you if you are looking to share some information and do an awareness event. Maybe you want to have this event and share this information at your school. Maybe you want to do a table at your school and pass out infographics and bracelets and stickers and let them know. I've heard that some schools, allow people to have a table in the lunchroom Some people have passed out these goodies at different events, or at your local community center, church, or just among your family and friends. Get your, maybe you want to hand out the swag, is what we call it, at one of your baseball games or sporting events. It's just a really fun and easy way to raise awareness, and really just kind of in a fun way educate people about HAE. We want people to learn about what it is so that it's not scary or anything to be intimidated by, and it's easy to do that. We have some really wonderful resources, as I said, and Jenny Barnes is a wonderful resource for these. And I have her email address right up here on the screen so that if you want to contact her, you can, and look into doing this on your own. Another really fun and easy way to raise awareness, and this is a little more in depth, is to contact your local newspaper or news station to share your story. Media outlets love to highlight young people who are overcoming extraordinary circumstances, especially if they're holding an advocacy, fundraiser, or awareness event. So I really encourage you, if you do hold an event, just reach out to your local community newspaper, reach out to your local news station, and let them know. They just might come out and do a story on your event. So it's definitely a lot of fun, and it's really exciting when you can be featured in the newspaper or on TV. Another thing, another really easy way to raise awareness about HAE is to post information on social media. Spread the word online. We see people out there really raising awareness about some very critical issues online. Share something with your friends and family on your social media page, whether it be Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever your medium is, if you have one. I really encourage you guys to make a note of it. Be creative. We're happy to send you an informational graphic to post, or simply share one of the posts that the HAEA has posted on our Facebook page. It's a really easy way for people to learn a little bit about HAE. Another thing, come up with your own creative way to raise awareness. I know that you guys are all incredibly creative, incredibly thoughtful, and definitely capable of turning something that you love, something that you're interested in, into an awareness event. I know that a lot of you guys have already done amazing, amazing awareness events and fundraisers. And some of the things that you guys come up with just really blow me away with how creative our community is. I know that there's one amazing young patient who does this slot car race in her community at her local hobby store and has generated a huge community of support around that. And there's just so many, I know that there's some people who've done really cool school projects about HAE. If you have an opportunity to write an essay on something that is your choice, why not write about HAE? It's something you already know, and it's a way to educate your teacher. So there's a ton of ways to raise awareness. And if you want help coming up with an idea, please, please, please feel free to reach out to me anytime, and I'm happy to have you bounce ideas off of me. Next slide, please. All right. So we want to put the fun in fundraising. And fundraising is really important because there's a lot of really amazing things that the HAEA does. One of them is that we contribute to research. And one amazing thing that we have seen is the importance and value of research. As we've seen medication, treatment options improve over the years, that's all, the product of research developments. But that's not the only thing that fundraising supports in the HAEA. We also have a really amazing scholarship fund. And our scholarship fund is basically helping young people with HAE fund their college education. We all know that getting to college can be a challenge sometimes, and once we get it there, we really want to show support for our community members. Next slide. All right, so how can you host a fundraising event? Sometimes we think that hosting a fundraising event is hard and maybe too much work, but it doesn't have to be. So the first idea that I'm going to give you guys, and these are just ideas, remember, there's lots of room for you to create your own idea and host your own creative event. But host a fundraising awareness event at your school or community center. You'll hear from a couple of our HAE community members who have hosted fundraising or awareness events, and they'll give you some ideas of insight into how that evolved. But it's really easy to turn something that you're passionate about or something that you're interested in into a fundraising or awareness event. You can also participate in an HAEA in Motion 5K Run Walk event. There are 5Ks held all over the United States throughout the year. All you have to do is go to our website and click events. And in that events section, you're going to see a list of all the 5Ks that are coming up. We really encourage you to join. And this past weekend, we saw how successful these events can be. There's opportunities for you to create a team of people who support you to walk in the 5K walk or run or whatever you got to do. You know, just because it's a 5K run doesn't mean you have to run. So if you're not ready to run, that's okay. Don't let it stop you. But encourage your friends, family members, teammates, anyone in your community to join and join in and support you for these events. They're really fun and a really cool and easy way to get involved. So I really encourage you guys to check the events page and see if there's one coming up near you. So another really interesting way, because we all know that technology is wonderful and allows a lot of really unique opportunities for fundraising. And we are registered with Amazon Smile. So that means that if you register with Amazon Smile and you make a purchase, first you want to select Hereditary Angioedema Association as a beneficiary. So that means that when you make a purchase using Amazon Smile, a portion of those proceeds are going to go towards the HAEA. And you don't really have to do anything. I know that I love shopping on Amazon. So I try to make sure that any purchases I make, I use through Amazon Smile. You can encourage your family, friends, and community to purchase using Amazon Smile, and that's just a really easy way to contribute to fundraising with the HAEA. And if you're already shopping on Amazon, why not use it as a fundraising opportunity? But just to note, when you do shop on Amazon Smile, you want to shop through their website. Unfortunately, when you use the app on Amazon Smile to purchase, it isn't connected to Amazon Smile. So you would want to use your desktop and actually go to the amazonsmile.com to allow those purchases to go through. We also just started a very fun Facebook fundraising platform. And we've seen some people host some very cool Facebook fundraising events. This is a really cool way for you to easily, among your friends, and community members, to raise awareness for HAE. You can turn it into a birthday fundraiser. You can turn it into an everyday fundraiser. But it's a really fun and easy way to get involved in fundraising. Now, there's also another very interesting way to hold a fundraiser, and that is to partner with a local business. Businesses are in a unique position because when they contribute to fundraisers, they are able to use it as a tax write-off. So it benefits them to help other people hold fundraisers. So there's some large chains that I know already do these types of fundraising events. So Chipotle, Applebee's, Panero, Jamba Juice are just a couple of the wonderful, wonderful businesses that donate a portion of proceeds from a specific day to the cause of your choice. So you would basically go to their website or go to a store and ask them about their fundraising support. And they would give you an opportunity to promote sales in your community. So that means that everyone who you asked to come in and purchase food at that business that day, they would donate a portion of those proceeds to the organization of your choice. So that's also just a really fun and easy way to partner with the local business. I also encourage you to talk to other maybe small businesses in your community who might be open to doing something very similar. It's not just limited to these large chains. A lot of times small businesses and community businesses are very excited to help people who are looking to hold a fundraiser. So I encourage you to just chit chat, put your feelers out. Maybe you know someone who owns a business, maybe your family members know someone who owns a business. So essentially what we've really been trying to do here is give you guys, just pass along some information, show you that it is easier than you think to come up with an event, that it can be as easy or as in-depth as you would like, and that, you know, it can be fun. It really can, and I've seen a lot of people really, really have fun at their fundraising and awareness events. And don't forget about the advocacy aspect. We really would love for you guys to join us in our advocacy efforts, especially our legislative advocacy outreach program and Capitol Hill Day. So don't forget about that. It's a really wonderful, wonderful project to get involved in. And again, there are so many young people who have held amazing events. It would be impossible to talk about everyone here. If you've held an event, you know who you are, and I am impressed by each and every one of you every day. But that doesn't mean that we can't think of fun and new ways to get involved and to do new things. So hopefully this was a meaningful and inspiring example for you, for all of you who are here. So I wanted to introduce one of the young people in the HAE community. Her name is Carly. She's going to tell you a little bit about a fundraising event that she has held year after year. And Carly, are you still here?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, wonderful. So go ahead, Carly.
Okay, sorry, I'm like a little sick, so. Okay, so hi everyone, my name is Carly, and I'm going to share with you a fundraiser that I've been doing since I was in 6th grade. I'm currently just started my junior year in high school, and I want to encourage you all to do a fundraiser. As Ms. Lisa just explained, October is our very first Youth Advocacy Month for HAE. So it's very important, whether it's something simple as a social media post or something, to get involved. But it would be very great to, sorry. Oh, okay, no, okay, sorry. It'd be very great to do a fundraiser, and I'm gonna share something I did that's very simple that you can do too and get involved. I did something called Wear Jeans for Rare Jeans. So basically it was a whole week fundraiser at my school, and during lunches we had a bake sale and we sold bracelets, and so people could come during their lunches and they could buy those items. And then on that Friday we had the jean day because we wear uniforms at our school. So everybody would come in and they'd pay $1 and they'd be able to wear jeans to support HAE. And so all of those proceeds went directly to the HAEA Association for, you know, further research and to help find a cure. And it may sound complicated or like, oh, I don't have the time to do that, but I'm going to explain a few key factors that really made, especially last year, super easy to do this and very encouraging. I know most schools, y'all all have clubs and things like that. So I got involved with a club that I'm very involved with. It's called Interact. I don't know if y'all are familiar with the Rotary Club. It's like a club that we have that sponsors our parish and does like service work and things like that. So it's the high school form of that. So I talked to our sponsor, and she said, because in order to do a fundraiser, you have to have paperwork and things like that done. So she was able to sponsor me, and I got everybody in the Interact Club. They were able to get service hours for serving during lunch to sell the bracelets and all things like that. So you can find your club at your school to sponsor you and help you and things like that. And then also, sorry, I forgot what I was about to say. Yeah, so it's very simple. You could find your club to help sponsor you, and one more thing. Sometimes I learn, obviously you always learn from what you do, and it may not work the perfect way that you wanted to the very first year. This is going to be my 5th year doing it, and I'm gonna make some changes. Like I usually have done it in May to represent like what was HAE Day on May 16th, but now I'm changing it to October because I would encourage y'all to do something in October for Youth Advocacy Month, and I feel like that's very important. So I'm changing my date to specifically to promote, HAE Youth Advocacy Month. And also my mom and my grandma, like they work very hard. They actually have the bracelets right here. They make, I don't know if y'all can see, but they like make all of these bracelets, like handmade, and they make all of the baked goods and things. But Miss Lisa gave me an idea to call your local bakery and maybe they can donate some things. So there's so many options, and I think it'd be great if y'all could join this with me. And if you want to do this exact same fundraiser, take the name, that's perfectly fine. I would love for you to take this idea and to join in and do it in October. And if you have any questions or you want to know how I did it or how to talk to anybody, I'd be more than happy to answer all of your questions. And I think it'd be great to participate in Wear Jeans for Rare Jeans. So thank you.
I love that, Carly. One of the amazing things that you talk about is how you turn something as simple as wearing a uniform at your school into a fundraising event.
Yeah.
So I think that's brilliant. More and more schools are required to wear uniforms, and wearing jeans is something that everyone wants to do. So I think everyone was really enthusiastic about wanting to pay that $1 so that they could wear jeans too. How many people did you have participate in this event? Do you have any idea?
Like people who helped me or people who wore jeans?
People who wore jeans.
I'd say like a couple hundred people, like over 100 people.
That's super cool.
Especially for a high school, we have like over 1,000 kids. Like I have a very big high school, so like that's also a thing. Like if you have a big high school, it's a very great like thing to do, and your school is a really great fundraising place.
Definitely. That's wonderful. I encourage anyone who is here, if you have questions for Carly or for Michael as we move forward, to use either the chat feature or the Q&A feature to ask questions. And as soon as they're done with both of their presentations, we will open it up to the questions that you guys ask. So feel free. And I really encourage you guys to use those chat features because we are here and ready to answer questions. Thank you so much, Carly. That was wonderful. I love all your ideas, and you really turned this very cool event into something big, and you brought it from your middle school over to your high school and have just continued doing that. So awesome. Our next presenter is going to be Michael. Michael has been doing another very, very unique fundraiser, and he's going to tell you guys a little bit about that.
Hi, so I'm Michael Odito. I'm from Albany, New York, and I first started my fundraiser by swimming across the Boston Harbor to take a bite out of HAE when I was in 9th grade. So this whole thing got started when just me and a friend of mine were trying to brainstorm, come up with something, and we realized all we really do is swim. So we don't have many other talents or hobbies. So we decided to take that try and do something a little crazy sounding to get the word out there. And we ultimately came upon the decision to swim across the Boston Harbor, that is. So it started off just me and him, but through just word of mouth and great help from local news organizations, we had a radio channel reach out to us and ask us to come on for just a 5-minute segment in the morning. So that reached a ton of people, and through all this help, we eventually grew into, I think 9 or 10 people were doing it by the last year. But I think the most important part of it was the amount of people it reached. So it wasn't just the 10 of us swimming across for fun. It was because of all 10 of us, because of the 4 years we did it, I could safely ask almost anyone in my community what HAE is, and most of the time I will get at least somewhat an idea. The amount of awareness was very, very important, and kind of the biggest part, and one of the things that I, for one, am most proud of. But I guess kind of the moral is, it doesn't have to be something like a bake sale or one of the more like generic fundraisers, like with Carly, wear jeans for rare jeans. That's an awesome idea that is catchy and people will remember. Swimming across the Boston Harbor is something people will remember. Stuff like that will really make a lasting impact on people, and that's, I think, is one of the most important parts.
Wonderful. Thank you, Michael. You know, I think what your event is it's a really interesting example, just one of some other people too who have turned a passion of theirs, which yours was swimming, into a very unique and dynamic fundraising event and awareness event. And you also mentioned that you had gotten a lot of support through your local media stations and radio station who helped to kind of promote the event. And so what you did was really cool, and it's just so awesome to see you do this year after year and see it grow. And you really made it into something very cool for your friends to participate in. And so how many years have you been doing it now?
It started my freshman year in high school, and I just graduated, so 4 years.
Awesome. Very cool. Wonderful. Does anyone, I'm going to open it up. If anyone has any specific questions for Michael or Carly specifically, I would love for you guys to reach out and ask. Please feel free to ask them questions. They are here to answer, give you guys inspiration. Hopefully their stories were inspirational to you. I will wait a minute. We have a bunch of people, you know, giving you guys support here. Thank you, Michael, for your effort. Someone had said, that's great. We can take the world by storm in October. Way to go, Carly. And everything you guys are doing is wonderful. And not just both of you. It's really the amazing effort of our wonderful HAE community that works together and really shows the power of community. And so again, October is coming up, and we will be doing some promotional outreach to highlight and promote Youth Advocacy Month. We have someone who wants to make a question. It's Jenny. Are we able to, she lowered her hand. Oh, and she raised her hand. Are we able to feature Jenny, to allow her to speak for a minute? Maybe. Jenny, do you want to type it in the chat box? So, so yeah, and you know, basically here we are approaching October. If you have already done an event this year, I hear some echoing, but if you've already done an event this year, I really, maybe it's something small, maybe it's something big. I would love for you to email me and let me know what you did, because we know how you do.
All right, can you hear me now?
Hey, Jenny. Jenny is.
Hold on, guys.
This is Jenny Barnes. She.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay,
Are you there, Jenny?
My internet's unstable sometimes. Oh God. Hey.
Hi, Jenny.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we just had the best experience ever. My mouth is moving and nobody could hear me. So yay, y'all. Hey.
We can hear you.
Okay, so look, what I want to make sure, like one other thing that kids have done in the school setting is a science fair project about HAE. They've done the show and tell class exercise of giving out infographics to their classmates in their room. So when they're sick, the classmates kind of understand why they don't feel good or why they're in the room and not necessarily want to make a joke and pick on you. So you can kind of get ahead of that and diffuse some of that opportunity to be, you know, kind of picked on a little bit if that still happens. I'm sure it does. I can send you any awareness material, infographics. The ER kits, an adult will probably have to help you navigate through that process to get to the hospital level, but you can actually take that same kit and go to your school and show it to your nurse, your teacher, your principals, that kind of thing. So I just wanted to kind of follow up on Lisa's and a few of those points and just say, you know, I've always been proud to be a part of this community, and I've always enjoyed working with y'all in the youth side, and I'm still here.
Thank you, Jenny.
And unmuted. Yay, me.
Some really great points. You know, I know that sometimes friends can be curious about where you are when you're not at school. So bringing some of these fun educational materials to explain why you're not there is a great idea. And since we don't have any questions, I'm gonna close the webinar with a.
I've got one more thing. Where's the hand button? Where's the hand button? I got one more thing to say.
Yes.
If you tell one person about, if you tell one person about HAE, you have spread awareness. That's all it takes, is just to tell one person about HAE, you have spread awareness. So break it down and make it real small, because I don't want you to be intimidated by the idea of an event and a lot of people. Just break it down simple. Tell one person, you spread awareness. You got the power. You got the power.
It's true. That's really the, you know, the whole concept of awareness is really just spreading education, and whether that's one person or many people, every person that you tell makes a difference. So we are so excited to be announcing October 2018 as Youth Advocacy Month, and we really look forward to your participation. Again, please feel free to email me at lisa@haea.org for more information, or if you need more help coming up with ideas, I am here to help you along the way. So thank you all so much for joining us. Each one of you makes a huge difference in our community, and we value your participation and support so much. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. All right, and that will be the end of our webinar.